They not like us, they not like us. They don't like lookalikes, they not like us. They don't like us, they not like us. They not like lookalikes, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us. They don't like lookalikes, they not like us. They don't like us, they don't like us. They don't like lookalikes, they don't like us. We the original, number one, uno. We're not alike, you know. Y'all are liar, like we made in the image, our likeness. Our image is righteous, our lineage is priceless. You can't buy or sell it, they tried it, tried it. They tried to sell it, they tried it. They not like us, they not like us. They don't like lookalikes, they don't like us. They not like us, they not like us. They don't like lookalikes, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us. They don't like lookalikes, they not like us. They don't like us, they don't like us. They don't like lookalikes, they don't like us. They not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they not like us, they don't like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us, they don't like us, they don't like us, they don't like lookalikes, they not like us. We the original, number one on the road, we're not out like you know. Y'all are liar, like we're made in the image and likeness. Our image is righteous, our lineage is priceless. You can't buy or sell it. Can't buy or sell it. It's right.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. We are live. We are live, family. Yeah, so we caught him and we got him. I need that Malcolm X clip. We're trapped, double trapped. But we caught him, family. These are Pan-Africans using their air quotes, air quotations, experts to cause harm towards towards us, the black community, the real black community, which comprised of Foundation Black Americans. Right? We caught them. So we'll get into that in a second. Let me see what is on the Swazi. Give me a second. Yeah, we caught them. So when you got tactics like this, when these Pan-Africans, like these guys get these doctorate degrees, they write books and they talk about how nobody is smart but them. They're the only people competent, the only people who can research stuff and gather information. But when you're gathering this information to become a detriment to Black American society, who needs friends like that?
Who are you kidding about friends in the world? Damn it, if you want a friend, look in the mirror.
Right. So according to the words of John Henry Clark, if we wanted friends, we got to look in the mirror. And we're doing that by delineating. So it looks like John Henry Clark was on board delineation, right? In his hate for FBAs. He was definitely a big hater. But look how they want to shoot down. So they were preparing. These guys were preparing to go against delineation in advance. Listen to this right here.
That there's no such thing as a race.
Oh, I maintain that race is the phoniest issue ever invented by the mind of man. The European invented and developed the concept of race. There's really no such thing as a race because nature created no races.
Now, he just said race was something designed or invented by the European man. Okay. He's saying race doesn't exist while using what some people call racial terms. The European is a racial term. Like, you just made the white man a monolith. That's what race does. It categorizes everybody into one and make them this big monolithic person. So this is the problem with these folks. They're saying race doesn't exist, but meanwhile using racial terms. Listen to them. One more again.
The whole race because nature, there's really no such thing as a race because nature created no races. The whole race is a man-made thing. This is an ethnic grouping as against
So race is a man-made thing, and it's about ethnic grouping. So that's what we're talking about. FBAs, we're talking about ethnic groups, ethnicities, ethnogenesis. We're not talking about race either. So how can they stand by this, Pan-Africans, and then go against delineation, which is about ethnic grouping?
what we call race. If you go back and you look at an old dictionary, you won't even find a definition for a race.
So I want y'all to be very clear that Pan-Africans, they're attacking race. They're attacking race way back during the days of John Henrik Clark. And you're going to see their modern scientists, their modern scholars continue this attack on race. And we're like, why are they attacking race? What are they trying to get ahead of? It looks like they're trying to get ahead of an ethnogenesis delineation movement.
Race grew out of the pseudoscientific development of Europe. And this is
Okay, so you see that. So race is a pseudoscientific thing that grew up out of Europe. Okay, so remember those words. Remember those words. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what we got to get into. So I was tagged by Pan-Africans to listen to this Pan-African pseudo scientists, right, that decided to try to water down our ethnogenesis unique experience in America. Not all ethnogenesis experiences throughout the world. Certainly not. He's not going to attack the Caribbean ethnogenesis. He's just going to attack FBA's ethnogenesis with race, right? This whole race narrative. But before we talk about that air quotations expert, right? Let's hear, well, they had a plan. We had a bigger plan. We knew what they was going to be about earlier before they knew what they was going to be about. So listen to Dr. Khalid Muhammad talking about how people are going to attack us using PhDs or scientists. Listen to this.
And Malcolm was able to handcuff scholars.
So Malcolm was able to handcuff scholars. So these scholars tell us we need degrees and doctorate degrees and all this stuff. And that never worked in our favor, by the way. That these people with these doctorate degrees and expertise, they never really were for the people, for the grassroots. So when you got a Dr. Khalid Muhammad once in a blue moon, that was like jaw dropping. Because the scholars normally side with white supremacy, and they were there to attack the grassroots. So scholars were there to attack the grassroots for the most part. So Dr. Khalid Muhammad is saying, yo, these air quotation scholars, they were never on your side. That's what made us get the Dr. Kings and the Malcolm X's, the people who were just from the grassroots. And you could say today we got the modern Tariq Nasheeds, if you will, the people without the degrees, because for some reason degrees and selling gets out kind of go hand in hand. So Dr. Khalid is talking about Malcolm X handcuffing these scholars.
And Malcolm was able to handcuff scholars all over America. Some with 2 PhDs. But when white folks can't defeat you, they'll always find some Negro, some boot.
So he said Malcolm X used to handcuff scholars with 2 PhDs. And when white folks can't defeat you, they'll always go get this person right here. Listen, they'll get somebody who looks like you and then make sure they got some PhDs behind their back. So look at the guys who attack us normally. The Teddy Ruxpins, all these people, the ancient mama, syrup, bottle lady people, degrees. The brother rejects, what they push in front of you, degrees, before they deceive you.
Boot licking, butt licking, butt dancing, butt dancing, bam.
All right, hold on. Let's go back.
But when white folks can't defeat you, they'll always find some Negro, some boot licking, butt dancing, bamboozled, half baked, half fried, sissified, punkified, pasteurized, homogenized. They get trot out in front of you. I hear.
So there you go. He said that's the type of Negro that they send towards you when they cannot defeat you with white supremacy talking points. They'll send out these doctors, these scientists, these experts to argue on behalf of white T-man. All right. So Malcolm X puts it a different way. All right. Let's see the way Malcolm X puts it. Let's get Malcolm X's words on this, right? I think that's important. Hold on. Oh shit. It had it perfectly timestamped. It's going to reset me. I hate these browsers. It's going to reset me towards the beginning. Cool. So let me try to give me cut to the beginning to get some context.
Negro voters. The 8 million non-voting Negroes are the majority. The downtrodden black masses. They have refused to vote.
Okay, so now listen, he's talking about Black Americans. He's not talking about Africans, Afro-Caribbean people. The context here is Black Americans in Black America. We're talking about voting, okay?
They've refused to take a part in politics because they reject the Uncle Tom approach of the clergy politician leadership that has been handpicked for the so-called Negroes by the white.
He could be talking about Roland Martins, who knows? He could be talking about them. I'm not sure.
Leadership that has been handpicked for the so-called Negroes by the white man himself. This clergy politician leadership does not speak for the Negro majority. They don't speak for the black masses. They speak for the black bourgeoisie.
So black, everything in America. All right. You're talking about Lineage, Foundation of Black Americans.
Brainwashed, white-minded, middle-class minority.
Okay, so that's exactly what Dr. Khalid Muhammad was referencing. He said Malcolm X and the white man can't defeat you, is send some bootleg, homogenized, pasteurized Negro.
Who, because they are ashamed of their race, because they are ashamed of being black, and
you see that? He is talking to Black Americans being ashamed of being black. Okay, so they're going to call themselves anything but black, African American, African, Igbo, whatever they want to call themselves, even though they got a lineage to this country, tying to U.S. chattel slavery, they're going to call themselves anything but black. And you listen to these Uncle Tom's and Malcolm X words, these pasteurized, homogenized, compromised, that's in Dr. Khalid Muhammad words. You listen to these black people, they call themselves African American every chance they get, never black. And they call us African Americans never black. They don't call us black at all, but they won't hesitate to call non-blacks, people from the Caribbean or Africa, they'll call them black in a heartbeat.
Don't want to be identified with black. They're seeking to lose this black identity by mixing.
They're trying to lose the black identity. They don't want to be FBA. They don't want to be foundationally black. They want to be everything but a black man. Malcolm X is cooking on them.
Mixing and mingling and intermarrying and integrating with the white society.
All right. So yeah. So he says these folks who refuse to call themselves black and call themselves African and anything else, that's their way of assimilating into white tea society. Right? So now you got it from Dr. Khalid Muhammad, who's referencing Malcolm X, and now Malcolm X gave you the reference. All right. So as you can see, family, we about to We ain't gonna be long, but we will be strong. All right. Thank you. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into where we going. 1 second. I cannot see the chat. Thank you. All right. Peace first always. All right. So let's go. Where we at? So we're past Dr. Khalid Muhammad. All right. So now let's get into this foolishness. This is their expert that's going to talk about DNA and how DNA somehow is more important than the ethnogenesis.
So today I'm going to talk some about using DNA to explore ancestry in African descent populations in the New World. And when we talk about the New World, I think we forget sometimes that there were folk who were here before we got here.
Nah, we don't forget about that. But every time, so just keep in mind, DNA, the topic is DNA doesn't erase Black American identity as he's going to try to act like it does. But check this out. Every time we start talking about Black American identity, lineage, or reparations, these guys come out of nowhere. These are homogenized, compromised, pasteurized Negroes. They come out of nowhere and they want to pull out DNA and say, well, technically everybody is mixed, so identity doesn't really matter, right? But they never say that when it applies to people calling themselves Haitians, Nigerians, Igbo, Jamaican, Trinidadian. When they use those terminologies to identify themselves, they don't come with the DNA and be like, well, technically, we all mixed up. They don't do that. So they use science. They're trying to use science in this video. This guy is trying to use science to erase history. And I told you that these guys are revisionists. They want to revise history. They are mad that the white man is better at it. Okay, but check it out.
Right. So the indigenous populations of the New World and their genetic or gene pool, there are still remnants of that in the genetics of folks today. But after the arrival of Christophe, or whatever you want to call him, he brought with him a lot of changes that occurred in the New World. And one of the big consequences of the arrival of Europeans in the New World was the enslavement and the forced migration, or kidnapping actually, of enslaved West and Central Africans.
So family, when they say kidnapping, when these Pan-Africans say kidnapping, notice he didn't mention the African intermediaries, right? Kingdoms, traders, Queen Nzinga, King Ngizo, the Dahomey. No, they don't mention Africans' participation. Their 50% participation in the transatlantic slave trade. No, they try to frame it as a purely European-driven thing. But the fact is, he's right. People were kidnapped, but who did the kidnapping, right? And obviously that was primarily done by Africans. They were the ones capturing and selling us to Europeans. So ignoring that removes half the historical mechanism of the trade, right? So no, we're not going to let you do that.
Who came throughout the New World, right? I mean, came to several regions of the New World from West and Central Africa. So today I'm going to place the genetics of African descent populations in the New World into several contexts. Because when we talk about genetics, I think we have to remember that this is just one tool, one piece of information from multiple sources of information. So I'm sure all of the speakers, the genetic speakers today, are not espousing any genetic exceptionalism.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
You are deceiving people.
I know I'm not, but I do want to stress that it is a powerful tool that could inform and could allow one to reconcile
Stop the cap.
individual, familial, and geographic ancestry. There is no monolithic African American or African descent population. I mean, there are
Okay, so right there's no monolithic. Got it.
different local experiences or African descent monolithic African American. There is no monolithic African American or African descent population. I mean, there are different local experiences, and when we look at the genetics, a lot of that arises because of the differences in the local experiences across the New World.
All right, let me explain that right. Let me address that. Okay, there's no black, blah blah blah, monolithic group family. What he's talking about? No group is a monolith. Ethnic groups are defined by shared history, not uniform DNA. So variation doesn't cancel identity. It exists within it. So no group is a monolith. Sound dumb.
And then the psychological.
Oh my God!
Because folks identify themselves, and you have the right to identify yourselves how you are.
You're damn right.
So when we talk about the transatlantic slave trade, we're talking about the forced kidnapping of.
So when we talk about the transatlantic slave trade, we're talking about the forced kidnapping of.
Okay, forced kidnapping. So you see, he keep calling it a kidnapping. Like, who the hell's it? No, it's a transatlantic slave trade, bro. The kidnapping were done by Africans, and the selling was done by Africans, and the buying was done by Europeans. I mean, come on.
Of folks from northern Senegal, southern Angola, for the most part.
But this comment is so legendary.
Who are you kidding about friends in the world? Damn it, if you want a friend, look in the mirror.
So that means that outside the lineage, there's really no friends. Because look at this. In academia, is that a friend? What he's trying to frame here, is that a friend? Like, these guys are disgraceful, man.
5% of enslaved Africans in this, for the most part, 5% of in northern Senegal, southern Angola, for the most part, 5% of enslaved Africans in this region coming over to being forced over into the New World, mainly the Caribbean and South America. Only about 500,000 were brought to North America. The bulk of them, 4.5 million or more, actually, to the Caribbean and South America.
All right, so let's address that. So most slaves didn't go to the U.S., he says. Okay, that's true, but U.S. population grew internally. He don't want to talk about that, right? So that actually, what he's trying to bring up actually strengthens lineage, right? Our lineage did not rely on constant imports like the Caribbean. So most of us here are homebred. Those guys, they might be African over there in the Caribbean because they kept dying off, working to their death, and they kept bringing more and more and more Africans over there straight from the motherland. All right. So, yeah, they just might be Africans over there in Haiti and the Caribbean. But over here, a small percentage of us throughout that 12 million that came to that was transported via ships, a small percentage of us came here and we grew. So 0.5, he says 0.4. We'll talk about that in a second. But about 384,000 of us came to this country, right, from Africa. And then the bulk of us, if you want to believe that, but the bulk of us came from this country. Not too long ago after that, 4 million of us were from here, not Africa. And we're at 43 million, around there somewhere, 45, 46 million of us right now did not come from Africa. So a small percentage, if you want to believe that, came from Africa. 384,000. The majority of us, what's the percentage of 384,000 to 43 million, right? So that'll show you who is from Africa, but the bulk of us come from America. Okay. So like I said, US Black population grew internally, right? That's called a natural increase. That's what makes us unique. So to say only 500,000 came to the US, but millions of Black Americans today descend from them due to natural reproduction, not constant importation like the Caribbean, whatever. So that actually strengthens lineage-based identity. It doesn't weaken it. Right. So, but by focusing on the 0.5 million Africans brought to the US, he correctly highlights that the US was a minor player in the trade by volume. So, extend your reparations claim somewhere else. But this can be sometimes by these guys interpreted as minimizing the domestic impact of the US slave system, which grew to 4 million people through natural increase. So you got to watch these guys. Like they say slick stuff, but sometimes it has a subtle effect where they're trying to disrespect something, downplay something, minimize something.
Joanna showed when you look at your ancestors as you go back in time, it can increase enormously. And so we can't tell you everything about all of those ancestors, but we could say something very concretely and about particular lineages when we use these markers. So 10 years ago, we started offering this DNA test for African Americans, and we were using the Y chromosome polymorphisms and mitochondrial.
He just called us African Americans. So Malcolm X said, what makes you ashamed to identify as Black?
DNA polymorphism. We were using the Y chromosome DNA test for African Americans, and we were using the Y chromosome polymorphisms and mitochondrial DNA polymorphisms. Now we have some what we call admixture markers, which are autosomal markers, which represent a mixture of.
All right, so now he's trying to highlight admixture and mixture. Okay, follow him.
Of your gene pool from multiple sources in your family tree. We call it the My DNA mix, which I think is interesting. It's a nice name, right? Issues surrounding reliability of results. And so when we talk about these lineage-based.
All right, so now he's going to admit that this DNA stuff, it has, they got limitations.
Test results. And so when we talk about these lineage-based tests, it's a function of how comprehensive your database is, right? So, large number of genetic data. The sampling has to be consistent with the historical record. So we have a database called the African Lineage Database, where we worked with archaeologists, anthropologists, and historians to say, well, what present-day populations are going to be important to sample for ancestry for African Americans. And then when you talk about the accuracy of these lineage matches, we have this sequence similarity measure, and then we also look at the frequency of these matched haplotypes. I mean, the matched haplotypes that we find. Because for the most part, when we look through our database, we find multiple matches across multiple ethnic groups, across multiple regions. A lot of them are single sort of matches, but then we find some that cluster that have a high frequency in a particular region. Well, we can come up with a statistic in terms of probability to say that's the most likely place of ancestry. So we use those statistical measures for our matches.
All right. So let's unpack this. For one, he says DNA show we're all mixed up. All right, listen. Mixture is not equivalent to identity, right? So a mixture doesn't tell you just because we're mixed, we don't have an identity. Yeah, you could be mixed all you want, add mixture, but you still have an identity. So every ethnic group on Earth is genetically mixed. So what he's saying, what he's trying to highlight over in America, he's trying to act like this is a unique occurrence. No, okay? Every ethnic group on Earth is genetically mixed. Now watch this. Now, again, he's trying to use that to say we cannot self-identify. You're kind of going back on what he said earlier. If mixture, watch this, if mixture erased identity, then no ethnic group will exist because everybody is mixed, or a lot of people are mixed, right? There's no pure nothing. Okay, hold on. Well, not in the diaspora. Okay, so now they want to say race. You heard John Henry Clark, and this guy argues that race isn't real biologically, and you'll hear a lot of their minions repeat this. Again, race is not the same as ethnicity. Genetics still show genetic. He said genetics still shows population clusters, right? So he denies race. Watch this. Him, John Henry Clark, and these other idiots, they deny race, but still use terms like African and European categories. That's a contradiction. You can't deny race, but use African and European categories to explain race. I'll talk about people. You know, you're going back on what you said you disagree with. Got to be consistent. So he talks about the admixture, right? European DNA and Black Americans, blah, blah, blah. Listen, whatever. Like that's common sense. Like Black Americans are a mixture of different ethnic groups. He said DNA clusters still map to geography, right? Well, if genetics breaks race, why can ancestry tests identify regions? If genetics breaks race, why can ancestry tests identify regions? You got to explain that. So, but that goes back to our point. DNA is limited. So using DNA to erase historical identity, like when we say FBA lineage, is inconsistent. You can't say DNA is limited in one breath, then use it to redefine identity. Got to be consistent, man. Shared genetic markers across groups doesn't erase historical identity. Europeans share DNA across nations, yet there's a such people called the French, a such people called the German, and a such people called Italians, right? So their identity still exists, even though they have shared DNA across nations. You guys don't make any sense. Genetics doesn't support rigid race, they'll say, but it absolutely shows population clusters tied to geography and history. That's why ancestry tests can even identify regions. That's why. So he's using real science, DNA variability, right? But he's using it to push a philosophical social conclusion that identity is fluid and non-distinct. It's not going to work. All right. The arguments that he made from what I showed you, he's saying that DNA shows we're all mixed. African Americans, he calls us, we're Foundation Black Americans. He's trying to say we aren't genetically uniform, right? Race is not biological, or race is not biologically real. So therefore, identity is flexible and not fixed. And the implication is, right, Black Americans don't have a unique claim as a distinct people. So we're just generic Africans. Like, so that was the whole point of the whole DNA spill. Yeah, so Foundation Black Americans, we have genetic diversity. Yes, European DNA is present. And yes, we have populations mixed, right? Populations are mixed. But he's taking biological variation and turning it into a social and political conclusion that doesn't follow, doesn't make any sense, right? Here's the sleight of hand, right? He says genetics breaks down race, but then turns around and still use African, European, Native American, indigenous categories in his own data. So which is it? If race doesn't exist, why can DNA tests tell you you're West African? Why can't they distinguish Nigerian from European ancestry? So now let's go to the part that they want to confuse purposely, ethnogenesis. Ethnogenesis is how a people form over time. So we Black Americans are not just genetically mixed people, as he want to try to point out in his presentation. Instead, we are a population created through slavery, shaped through Jim Crow, segregated through law and policy, and developed a distinct culture, history, and identity. Okay, that by definition, family, is an ethnic group. DNA does not create people, sir. History does. DNA does not create people. History does. Now, DNA doesn't cancel identity. Okay. Look, Jewish people have mixed DNA. They're still an ethnic group. Latinos have mixed DNA, still an ethnic group. Europeans are mixed and still have distinct nations. So why, when it only comes to Black Americans, these guys want to frame it, suddenly identity becomes invalid? Not gonna happen. Not my watch. Okay, so what he's trying to do is downplay ethnogenesis while overemphasizing DNA. Why? Because if you can convince people you're just a mixed global population, then you weaken lineage-based claims, reparations arguments, and political identity. So let me be very clear. DNA showing shared ancestry across populations does not erase a people. It actually proves we came from somewhere, we went through something, and we became something. Okay, they'll tell us we're all mixed, so identity doesn't matter. Yeah, but mixture doesn't erase history, it proves it. All right. So he's purposely confusing genetics with identity. DNA measures biological variation, but ethnogenesis explains how a people forms through shared history, conditions, and experiences. We, FBAs, Black Americans, are not just a genetic category. We are historically formed ethnic group. We are a historically formed ethnic group. Mixture doesn't erase that. It explains how it happened. DNA didn't create Black Americans. Slavery and U.S. policy did. So what we went through is what made us who we are, which separated us, which delineated us from everybody else. Genetics can trace where you're from, but history defines who you are. He's using science to erase us, but that's not scholarship. That's an agenda, right? Which Malcolm X and Dr. Khaled Muhammad spoke about. He's taking a true premise, genetic diversity, and stretching it into a false conclusion that distinct identities don't exist. But history, just not DNA, defines a people. So FBR, we're not just a genetic mixture. We are historically a continuous population shaped by slavery, Jim Crow, and U.S. policy, and it continues today. All right. And I'll let Tariq Nasheed explain our ethnogenesis.
So somebody misinterpreting history, that has nothing to do with the fact that foundational Black American is a lineage that's documented. All right. Even if a handful of foundational Black Americans told you, well, I think we were the first Native Americans, or I feel like I'm a Native American, or whatever. Our lineage is still our lineage. All right. None of that stuff. Nobody's ideology deletes plantation archives, Freedmen Bureau records, the 1700 census pages. None of that stuff gets deleted. Our paperwork is still there. Our lineage is still there.
All I want you to do is dispute me.
There is a big difference. See, genetics, that's about shared traits. All right. Lineages, that's about shared experiences and legal inheritance. See, having similar DNA, that doesn't mean that you have the same historical journey. See, lineage, that refers to direct ancestors and an ancestral line that connects a person to specific events, struggles, entitlements, things like slavery, Jim Crow, redlining. So lineage is a more direct connection. Lineage is documented and traceable. Genetics, that's broad and non-specific. Like, for example, we have African genetics. Yeah, we never deny that. Yeah, we got African genetics, but it's so damn vague.
On the dead ancestors. Let me know who you are. Foundational Somali. Hop on, Foundational Somali. Mr. Foundational Somali, hop on, man. I just invited you. Hop on. If you got a question.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
On the dead ancestors.
So mostly all the people that's over here?
Yeah. Foundational Black American, just a Black American whose lineage goes to the beginning of this country. That's all the Foundational Black American is. It is nothing else. There's nothing else classified as a Foundational Black American. It's only people whose lineage goes to the founding of this country. That's it. And you've met them before.
So when you say founding of the country, you mean founding of the United States or founding of, like, just in general North America at the time?
The United States. We're talking about the United States.
Okay, so from the time the United States was formed, the people that was here until now, basically.
Right. If you were here during the formation of the United States, that would be in the 1700s, 1800s. If you were here as a Black person, no matter how they came, when the formation of the United States was happening, and you were Black, you were part of the ethnogenesis. We became a whole new ethnic group during that formation. So that's what the argument is. Some people try to get into who are the Native Americans? Are you really Cherokee? I don't get, that's a bullshit argument. I don't even get into. That ain't got nothing. That the ethnogenesis is what we're talking about. We're talking about the ethnogenesis where you became Black. Yeah.
No, it makes sense, because there's a lot of people that claim, like you said, you don't get into it, but that claim Native American that I feel like got absorbed by the FBA people, and it's like it's a little weird because it's making the FBA how do I put it? It's two different two different views, but they come together to make one. So it makes it look.
I don't know what this is not about views. This is not about an ideology. So somebody misinterpreting history, that has nothing to do with the fact that Foundational Black American is a lineage that's documented. All right?
On the dead ancestors.
Even if a handful of Foundational Black Americans told you, well, I think we were the first Native Americans, or I feel like I'm a Native American, now whatever. Our lineage is still our lineage. All right. None of that stuff. Nobody's ideology deletes plantation archives, Freedmen Bureau records, the 1700 census pages. None of that stuff gets deleted. Our paperwork is still there. Our lineage is still there. All right. No matter what your ideology is, no matter what your views are, that's irrelevant. See, people try to get into these ideological arguments. If your lineage can be traced to the beginning of this country, you are by definition foundational. That's it. That's it. No matter what you can pretend you from Mars or whatever, but if your paperwork can trace back to a certain place, which is America, and you are Black, and your ancestors were Black, that makes you foundational. It's that simple, right?
On the dead ancestors.
I don't know why they have no experience with this stuff, man.
It's not rocket science, and it's been explained like this before, I think. Is this a troll account?
No, this is not a troll account. Hi, Tariq.
How you doing, bro?
I'm familiar with your work. I've been a fan of Hidden Colors. I've always, loved the series. It's nice to learn about Black American history.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to ask 3 questions in specific.
If you want a friend, look in the mirror.
So I'm in the beginning, I didn't understand what delineation meant, but I looked into the argument, and it's basically an ethnogenesis argument, the same argument for Jamaican people. And I kind of get behind that, but there are some, I guess, Black Americans that are claiming like Cherokee, and I'm wondering if you're on that boat as well, right? Because there's like this specific thing happening in Jamaica as well, where they're trying to put like, oh, I'm a Taino now, right? Because sometimes they copy what Black Americans do. And I'm telling them I'm not a Taino, I'm not no damn Taino, right? So I'm wondering what's your opinion on the whole Cherokee thing, because it's kind of like a side effect that's affecting Jamaica as well. So
Yeah, no, I've talked about that before. Some of the people who will call up and say, hey, we shouldn't say we're black, we should say we're Native American. And I've had issues with that for a few reasons, because we've developed a foundation of Black American culture. And the people in their family, if they're really genuinely from here, because a lot of times, a lot of people will try to do the indigenous thing. Oh, we shouldn't say we're a foundation of Black American. We should say we're from some tribe, because a lot of these people are low-key immigrants from the Caribbean. They'll try to say, let's claim Arawak, because the Arawaks were going between Caribbean islands and the North American mainland. So that's a little backdoor way they try to seep into the lineage. But we've had an ethnogenesis from the tribes and from the African tribes, and became a whole different ethnic group. So that's my
so you're basically claiming that you're just Black American now.
Yeah,
right?
we're Foundation of Black America. And some of us have Native American indigenous ancestry, but to claim the tribe
On the dead ancestors.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
On the dead homies.
All right, so that was a simple way to break down ethnogenesis and a deep explanation. You dig? Real simple. It just a homogenous people, right? People from different ethnic groups at first come together, mix, mingle, and guess what? Let's say somehow you're indigenous, right? And you were amongst the European, the slave masters who bought us, and you were amongst Africans who were sold, right? And let's say your tribe, your unique tribe did not mix, like you went through the shared experiences, enslavement, Jim Crow, all of that, but you did not mix, like you were intact, right? You didn't mix with enslaved people at all, no European, and you're pure tribe. Guess what? It's still an ethnogenesis. You're still now Foundation Black America. So even if you maintain your purity within your ancestry and your lineage as an indigenous person, as indigenous people, the fact that you went through all of that with us, the people who were mixed in, you still become part of the homogenous group who are now FBA. You're still not ethnicity-wise indigenous anymore. That's over. Even though you were intact the whole time, you're still FBA. You have went through the ethnogenesis with us. Right now, you can deny that, and you could claim what you want to claim, but that's a fact. Once you show your records, you went through enslavement with us for 400 years. Nobody's buying, like even other indigenous tribes ain't buying that you're somehow still one of them. Your experiences make you different. It makes you one with us. All right. So now I did some digging, right? So some things you already heard before, but you're going to hear more. I did more digging. So just bear with me. I'm piecing it together. It's a big puzzle. So we're going to go into Pan-Africans who flip-flop. 1 minute they're FBA, the another minute they're freedmen, ADOS, and then they're none of the above. They're just an African and they're African American. So I pulled some receipts, right? Check this out. So again, some things you already heard, but some things you ain't hear or didn't see it connected like this. Check it out.
A broad cultural, ethnic, and racial identity for people of African descent in the U.S. Okay, so you can get to the U.S. and you be classified as an African American, no matter where you come from, right? Caribbean and Washington.
So you get to the U.S. and you be classified as an African American, no matter where you come from, right? Caribbean and Washington.
I want to interject really quickly, Ankh. This is why when you and I talked, I said, Ankh, you don't think we should throw the term African American away? No, we shouldn't throw it away. I said, Ankh, it is not specific to our lineage here in America. It's not specific to our lineage here in America. Anybody that comes over here who's a descendant, who is of African descent, can claim to be an African American. This is why I said I do believe that we should have a name that is specifically for us, that other Black immigrants cannot come into the country.
So right now, she sounds just like us. We want to know what happened. She broke it down. She understands thoroughly. Okay. So to get this far in your understanding, that means you already probably was against it. You were reluctant, but to articulate like that, you know exactly what you're saying. You're on board. So how do you go from that? You'll see.
And hijack. And I do believe that we should have a name that is specifically for us, that other Black immigrants cannot come into the country and hijack. And you were like, no, African American, they know who's who, and you went through all that. But in your slide, these two bullets talk about exactly what I was arguing on the telephone. But please
that.
Did you change your position?
No, I didn't. I'm still the same. No, of course not. I'm still there.
I'm rolling with Friedman. I'm rolling with Friedman.
No, I'm not rolling with Friedman.
I am a proud Black American, a proud African American. So if you're saying that, well, Doc, you will be considered foundational, which I know my lineage is to this country, then so be it. But as I explained to Brother Ankh earlier, I embrace any of those terms. I do embrace FBA. I do embrace ADOS. I do embrace Friedman. Any of those terms.
So this is a whole nother show, right? And she's referring to the last show. Like, as I told Brother Ankh, I do embrace FBA. I embrace Friedman, and she embraces ADOS. What happened? So this is a double down. This is months afterwards. A double down. What happened?
That describe the lineage that I just discussed with you. I embrace those terms.
I am just as FBA.
Okay, so now this is the professor, right? Our professor, prophet, elder. He's FBA.
As you, and somewhere more than most.
And sometimes he's more FBA than most, he says. So these folks are FBA, they're 10 toes, they're standing on it.
On the dead homies.
Then she goes here, right? This is recently, right? This is a post from Dr. Maya, community post. Now, she was very clear on we need a distinct name for ourselves that's foundational in this country that immigrants cannot hijack. That was her choice of words. Then this agent guy is in her ear, and now all of a sudden she got a post. Well, what's in the name? African American, Black American, FBA, ADOS, DAFA. Does it really matter what you call yourself? So what? They can hijack it. Yo, so she went. Yo, when you keep agents in your circle, they're gonna get to you. Watch this. So did she go here, right? So now she's here with it. Hold on. So now she's here with it. Hold on, some sassy dude come next to me blasting club music early in the morning. Okay, so now she's here with it. So now Africans sold Africans into slavery. No. Do Pan-Africanists overlook African role in enslavement? Do we really act like we're not involved? Right? So now she went from 10 toes down to a toenail. All right, check this one out.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, I can.
And you can tell this guy has an accent. He's definitely non-foundational. He's not FBA. And look, Africans sold Africans into slavery and other fairy tales. He called this a fairy tale. And she's there. She's there. And I want you to see how she went through this without one thing to say. And when people got on her about that, like, yo, how come you let people just lie that's under the brand Pan-African and you say nothing? Well, I can do what I want with my guests. I don't gotta, a family. But if that person, now you remember when Sincere loved God and the other brothers went on there, she questioned them, scrutinized them, but you're Pan-African, you're a lying Pan-African, you can say what you want on there. Africans sold Africans into slavery and other fairy tales that keep white people safe. So in other words, if you say Africans sold us, you're lying. That's a fairy tale, and you're just protecting the white man going to Africa with a net from a tree and casting on us like we're salmon and bringing us over here to America, while the Africans were just unaware. All right, listen to this foolishness. By the way, listen to this foolishness on her watch.
Can you hit the can you hit the hide button down the bottom? Yeah, cool.
Okay, so this is the presentation: Africans sold Africans into slavery and other fairy tales that keep quote unquote white people safe. And notice that the white is lowercase.
The white is lowercase. Yo, what's up with these guys? The white, the W. Well, he meant to say W is lowercase. What does that mean? Like that somehow overcome systemic racism? Like, so you made the white, the W lowercase and the HITE capital height, like what? W. Are you pronouncing white like Jared Teller? The whites, man. Like, what does that do? Yeah, these guys with their, you gotta get out of this African spirituality stuff, man. He believes this lowercase W somehow debunks white supremacy. Just dude, stop.
So this is what, the FBA, ADOS people think, when they say, oh, Africans sold Africans in slavery.
Stop the
like,
cap.
Here's one guy, I'm an African. Here's another guy, I'm an African too. And, the crack was just walking by, window shopping. He didn't have anything to do. Like, hey, I have something for sale. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's an African. Right. So this is what they have in mind. Right.
So this is him. This is him minimizing and just saying it didn't happen. Africans didn't sell us. They just minded their business. Listen, like he's saying it. And that's why we're saying if these are supposed to be our friends, I'd rather take the advice of John Henry Clark.
Who are you kidding about friends in the world? Damn it, if you want a friend, look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror, family. If we want a friend, he said, who are you kidding talking about friends in the world? If you want a friend, FBA's look in the mirror. And Professor Prophet Elder Smalls put it this way.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
Umar Land.
On the dead ancestors.
Oh, I'm not doing anything with my child. Here's an African. So, if you want, I just have him for sale. Like, we're just sitting in the bush somewhere, who knows where. And, we're bored. We don't have anything to do. We're just like, oh, let me go sell some Africans. But what?
So you see that? He watered it down to, what you think Africans were just bored one day? It was like, and dial the white team man up like, hey, hello. Yeah, we want to sell you people now. We just bored. Like that's where he took it now. Like, okay.
Ends up happening is what you see down here, right? The marionneteer and the marionette, where, this one.
So family. So now he's doing this right here. This is a presentation. They love, one thing that these Pan-Africans love doing. They love going to book clubs, writing books, and doing presentations. They love visual expressions. They love, I guess this is their way to hypnotize you and bring you into their cult. So he got a white man with acting like a puppet master, and he got two people on a string, like, so he's controlling everybody's brains. Yeah, this dude is sick.
One says I'm continental. This one says I'm diaspora, but the cracker says I'm pulling the strings for all of y'all. Keep fighting amongst each other, because as long as you do so, you're not going to turn your fist up to knock me in the chin and knock me out.
So now you see that? They're pretending, he's pretending, and a lot of them are pretend that Africans were not complicit and went into business 50-50 with the white team man. They're acting like the white team man did everything. He just powerful guy. He's always been powerful. He didn't become powerful when they sold 15 million of us to them. He always, 12 million, but he, that's when he got powerful. And I got evidence for that. But, the white team man was always powerful, and he came to Africa and he started to pull the strings and made people do things that he did not want to do. And that's where we are now. That's his story. Now look where he's taking now.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all keep that up. We love that, right? We continue. And now I'll go into a definition of anachronism, a person.
Yeah, anachronism is something that I like to go into, and they try to charge us with it, and they do it. They it's basically putting revising history. Basically, that's a nice way to say it. Anachronism is like revising history. Like these guys look back at history and put modern terms and modern way of thinking on what happened in the past.
Thing or idea that exists out of its time in history.
The African was not in the slave trade, and you let people beat you over the head with nonsense because you have not studied African culture to understand. And even if the African was in the slave trade, he could not have brought it off.
So that is where they're getting it from. They're elders. And y'all were mad at me when I said, man, I don't buy into the whole elder thing, because an elder just means that they have the right to just lie. And you can't say a damn thing about it.
You are deceiving people.
Okay. So now, what I did not play that I gotta play. So now you remember, he did all of that on Dr. Mayat's watch, lying about and minimizing and just downplaying the role of slavery when it came to Africans. And thank you for the super chat. Let me see. I think it was S. Let me get the right person to credit. Hold on. Okay, yeah. SWLE 44, $5 super chat. Lineage love early in the morning. I appreciate that. Okay, so let me play. So I want y'all to keep the context here. So you got Dr. Maya letting old boy downplay the transatlantic slavery in her face. Said absolutely nothing. Remember, like they got a famous word. Oh, that's pseudo. That's pseudo. When they hear misinformation. See, family, they're biased. They ain't like us. I'm unbiased. It's my whole name. You dig? Unbiased Ron. They're biased. FBAs. How many times they chat? How many times the FBA come on here and say some reckless stuff, and I'm like, oh, stop, don't do that. No misinformation on the platform. So y'all could be of the lineage. I don't let you guys come in here and just lie, miseducate. I hold people accountable. 1 second. On her watch, she allowed old boy to just lie. Okay. And look, so you might say, well, maybe she didn't know any better. No, I don't know about that. Check this out. Let's see if she ain't know any better. Let's see what she teaches on her platform. Well, you know, I stay with the clips now. Y'all think I'm signed to Pharrell. How often I stay with the clips. Y'all think I'm signed to Kanye. How often I stay with the clips. All right, so let me get to her. I had it earlier. And then I clicked off it by mistake. And it's nothing worse than trying to find something on the fly while you're live. That's why I normally be prepared. I had it, clicked off on it. I'll find it real fast. Here we go. I'll find it real fast.
But I have the writings. I have the Portuguese writings that'll tell you that, you know, that these Africans, a lot of these different ethnicities were at war, and that they had POWs, and that they would sell their POWs to European people, right? Portuguese, Dutch, Swedes, Danish, British, you know, and that's so I don't.
So now look who's actually in attendance. So while she's breaking down Africa's role in the slave trade, look who's there. So this was months before he appeared on my channel when I asked him about, hey, man, who was primarily responsible for, you know, the kidnapping that he used, the term he used, the Dutch, the Portuguese. That's what he said. Why he witnessed her say this months earlier. So I'm like, yo, what are we doing, yo? So I hit him up like, yo, why you lie, bro? You been knew Africa was largely responsible for the kidnapping, right? Why would you say the Dutch on my show? Like, you was hoping I didn't come across this right here? So she knew, but she let old boy lie and call the African slave trade a fairy tale.
But I have the writings. I have the Portuguese writings that'll tell you that, you know, that these Africans, a lot of these different ethnicities were at war, and that they had POWs, and
right. So Africans were at war. They had POWs. They did the kidnapping.
That they would sell their POWs to.
They will sell their POWs to who?
To European people, right?
To European people. Who?
Portuguese, Dutch, Swede, their POWs to European people, right? Portuguese, Dutch, Swedes, Danish.
Hey, yo, look at my man's face when she admitted that. Uncomfortable
British,
as hell.
To European people, right? Portuguese, Dutch, Swedes.
Look, let me go back. John Henry Clark ain't teach that. He said Africans had no role. Listen to this.
These were at war, and that they had POWs, and that they would sell their POWs to European people, right? Portuguese, Dutch, Swedes, Danish, British, you know, and that's so you don't have any. I agree with that, right?
So she agrees with that, right? So she's off code with their cult. So he looked up like, how dare you admit that? Our cult leader, John Henry Clark, said Africans were not involved at all. I got to talk to her leader off camera. That's what most likely happened. That's what most likely happened. So you can see, these are receipts. You can see where they're at. She's FBA. She's Adolf. She's Friedman. She believes that we need our own distinct name so immigrants can't hijack it. She hang around this guy, and now she's talking about Africans sold African slavery. What? What's in a name? I mean, this is clear as day to me. All right. So actually I did have it right here. So I didn't have to look for it. All right. So, all right. What do you guys think about that? Okay. They're using science. They're using legitimate science, and science isn't bad, but they're misrepresenting science to pretend that admixture and mixture of this and DNA debunks identity or makes it more legitimate than identity. No, identity stands by itself. Identity is forced by, is a history thing. Got nothing to do with science. Science don't got nothing to do with identity. Okay. So that did not work. That didn't hit the way I thought it was going to hit. All right. So let me do this. So let me go here.
Telethon.
Yeah, so Tariq had an interesting caller.
Yes, indeed. Let me see. Y'all raise your hand if y'all want to get on up here. Oh, that apple juice helped me a lot. That apple juice was good. Let's get Rob. I think that's your name, Rob or Roy.
Hey, speaking of apple juice, helped him a lot. Yeah, man, the other live, man, my fault, yo. I was sick. Yeah, I'm surprised I got that far. I was sick as a dog. My God, man. All throughout the night. Like since when I first started the live, about 9:15 p.m., I was, oh my God, in and out the bathroom. All the way, almost 12 hours. Let me just say that. Had no sleep. That's why I ain't go live. The next day, I was like, oh my God.
Well, what's your name, brother?
Bro, well, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? You a Haitian guy?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Sock passe.
Oh, I had a quick question. So when I hear FBAs be like, they can tell,
let me read that comment real fast. So 227 says, quick question. Are you going to debate Sean or not? Well, you might want to ask him that question. Your hero, I got him on public record. I was in his chat. I was in his chat challenging him. He watched me in secrecy. I'm in his chat making it known, like, hey, every time I go in there, I talk. He got me blocked, by the way. He don't have this channel blocked, but he got unbiased round blocked. So a guy who wants to debate, you blocking people, that's weird. But he's on record, on video, saying he's not going to debate me. Okay, so yeah, I cook anybody. Anybody can get it. I'm the can man. Anybody can get it. Sean can, Africans, Puerto Ricans, anybody can get it. You dig? You can. In the chat, there's a link right there, 227. Click that link. I'll beat you up on the fly. But you gotta ask your man that. Your man's the one that's running. I'm not coming over there, he said on video. I got him. Like I said, I keep receipts. So yeah, so that question is for your man, not me.
Africans look different from them. So I got a question. When you see a guy like Michael B. Jordan, how can you tell that a guy like him is different from a Black American? Because as you can see, he's also from Ghana. So if you just walking in the street, like, how could you tell the difference? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh God, he's not from Ghana, brother.
he is from Ghana. His dad is from Ghana. He even stated it in the Oscars.
Oh God, do y'all want to come? Who wants to come? Y'all want to come tell him?
So when people be talking about delineation and all of that, it's like, yo, it doesn't make sense. The whole conversation in itself is like, it's stupid.
What's stupid about it, sir?
Because it is. It's like, yo, think about it. If you're walking around saying, oh, yo, this person doesn't look Black American. Like, you can't tell who's Black American, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, certain people got stronger.
All right, so 227, you're most likely Sean. And he said, you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure. He said he won't debate you. Yeah, he said that. Right. But he said, I thought he was talking. Now, he never said, yo, you find that clip where he said, I'll debate you with a mediator. Bro, he's not going to debate. But he said himself, he's not interested. You got to deal with that. But he said, nah, I thought he was saying get a mediator and he would debate you. I just heard him say this yesterday. All right, listen, bro. The fact that he won't even have a conversation with me, you dig? Debate about what? You know, we gotta, like, he said a lot of things. And I don't know what he stand on still, because he says a lot of things that I've been debunking him. He's never said. Show me the video where he responds to what I say and debunks it. Like, I would love to see that video. I debunked his Dogon myth bullshit when he thought the Dogon tribe knew about the white dwarf star Sirius B without modern technology, without a telescope, just their naked eyes. No. Yeah, so the fact that he won't even have a conversation with me. Now, I see him all the time, family. He invites all these weirdos on his channel, like anybody who he perceives as weak, he invite on his channel and have a conversation with them. Me, I had Unc over here. I had the pseudo killers over here. I had 3 pseudo killers, Unc, Chef, and Corey. I had Chief X over here. I had Brother Reggie over here. I had Stu Pease, Haskell. I'm known to have everybody over here. Had everybody there who wanted to come over here. Had Rob Bourne come over here. I had all my ops that's way smarter than him come over here. You think I'm afraid of that weakling? Okay? Who just quotes and repeat other people and then throw this fake scientist right here in your face as an authoritative figure? No, my guy. This guy's light work. Don't play that video. Yeah. So yeah. So no, he gotta first come over here and talk to me so we can know what he would like to debate. You know, like a weigh-in. You know, Saneda does weigh-ins. Let's do a weigh-in.
Phenotypes, we get that, but
so delineating and recognizing your own ethnic group is dumb?
I didn't say it was dumb. I'm just saying that to walk around and have that mindset to say, oh, yo, this person looks African. That to me just sounds crazy.
We don't walk around with that mindset. It's
there's a couple of FBAs who do walk around like that. They do that.
What the hell they got to do with us?
But that's the mindset of the culture of this FBA movement, though, and the rhetoric that's being spread around throughout the internet.
There's 45 million foundational Black Americans, sir. We're not a group.
Well, the way they represented themselves throughout the internet, it seems as though that's their narrative.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong, I followed your work. You know, I've watched a lot of your documentaries, and it's like, I don't know, listen, it's like seeing what I'm seeing now. I don't know, like the way that I'm seeing this movement. And don't get me wrong, like I'm all for FBA's getting their reparations. I'm not against that.
Stop the cap.
I know some people say some dumb shit when they be like, oh, this, that. Listen, I'm not one of those people. I want to see you guys win and get y'all reparations. You know what I'm saying?
Stop the cap.
It's just certain mindsets where they're calling people tethers. Come on, dude. It's like, yo, we all contributed. You know what I'm saying? We all
Stop the cap.
Contributed
did
to
something.
What? Who contributed to what?
There was Haitians that contributed to civil rights movement. We're not gonna sit here and lie about that. Let's be ooh.
Stop the cap.
We really gonna sit here and say that there wasn't no Haitians that contributed to civil rights? Come on, Tariq. Come on. We didn't have any Haitians in the Tuskegee Airmen. What? These are fake characters? We're gonna really sit here and lie about history? Come on.
What Haitian contributed to civil rights?
Come on, dude. See, this is what I be talking. See, this is why the conversation is.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
You are deceiving people.
Starts to become disingenuous. Because you sat. No. You sit here, you made a.
Shut up!
Yeah, you're not going to do that. See how this shit. You say
you see
something.
How you start muting people?
Yeah, because you just.
This is what you do.
You talking in circles. First of all, you came in here lying about Michael B. Jordan being Ghanaian, which he's not. And I think you know
he
that.
He is from Ghana. Go back and go watch the Oscars.
He said his dad flew in from Ghana.
No, he said his dad is from Ghana.
No, he didn't.
Yo.
No, he didn't. Is this nigga ticklish? Is he sitting here giggling like a woman?
Yo, this dude, bro, it's crazy how you just started to rebrand.
Are you sitting here like a ticklish
it's wild
bitch? No, sir, we don't sit here giggling like you ticklish.
A grown ass man.
You a grown nigga here giggling like a woman, sir, just saying stuff. And you can't stand on anything that you're saying, sir.
I don't really.
Sir?
You're not from LA.
Hold on, sir. You what? You what?
You're not really from LA, dogs. I know real niggas from LA. Trust me, you're not from LA. I'm positive about that. I know that for sure.
How you know? Where am I from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I know.
What you know about LA? What you know about? What you talking about? I'm not from LA. What are you talking about?
Real dudes from LA and they don't know no Tariq. I'm gonna be honest.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your damn mind? I'm very well known out here. Everybody knows me out here, sir.
Nah.
What are you talk? You're not from here. You don't know nothing about this. You're a punk. You're not gonna know, sir. Look at the way you're laying in your profile picture. You just got through spreading pussy, sir. So yeah, you know other punks. You know other punks, sir. So I don't know. I'm not in punk circles, but yeah, you don't know no real ones, sir, at all. Talking about you know some real niggas. And you sitting in a bed with your hand on your damn head. You sitting there with your hand on your head like you just got through rummaging in somebody's Bucci cat, sir. You are a punk.
So why you?
My dad came in from Ghana. He flew in from Ghana to be here. My brother, my sister's here. My family.
My dad flew in from Ghana to be here. That's my video. That's not Tariq Nasheed's video. But he said his dad from Ghana. He said my dad flew in from Ghana to be here. Yo, these tethers, yo. Yo, that's why, yo, in the words of John Henry Clark, if you want friends, look in the mirror.
Who are you kidding about friends in the world? Damn it, if you want a friend, look in the mirror.
In the words of Professor Smalls, the elder, they're parasites. We can't do nothing with a parasite. Nothing.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
Yo, he said my dad flew in from Ghana to be here.
Ghana, he flew in from Ghana. Where you at? My dad came in from Ghana. He flew in from Ghana to be here.
And he took that as his dad's from Ghana. Yo, yo, you can't make this up.
You muting me though. You muting me
You a
though.
sassy punk. Get out of here. I know.
Yo, he took that as yo, that's crazy. Yo, these guys are desperate.
Man. Oh, who is this? Who is this? Marshall. Let's get Marshall. Marshall, hop on in. Marshall, make a request. There you go. I see you. Mr. Marshall, make a request, Marshall.
Yeah, man. Marshall here live and in living color.
Yes, indeed, from Jamaica. Have you called up before, Marshall?
Yeah, man. You come on my panel too, man.
I came on your panel?
Yeah, man.
Stop the cap.
I don't remember.
You
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm here, man. I'm just trying to see what's going on with you.
I'm chilling, man. I'm just doing me. What's happening?
You're just doing you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. I'm here doing me too, man. You understand me? Standing up for my African and Caribbean people as always.
Stop the cap.
Are you in America or are you in Canada?
Man, listen, man. I'm in America right here, man.
Oh, my God. Yes, indeed. So what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I don't know. Listen, Tariq, man, you gotta have to teach your followers them the way of immigration, you know, because at the end of the day, they don't be knowing what's going on with immigration, man, and they just come online and spread a bag of rumors and think.
Now, yeah, Moonduck. If you do lives and you have a confrontational show and you invite guests, right, especially about FBA, you gonna do it too. Every host on this planet that has a show that's confrontational, they mute people because it's your show and it has to go your way. Just like you have a home, you have a car, your boss has authority. People in authoritative positions, yes, a police officer, a judge tell you to be quiet. That's mute. That's censoring you. Okay, mute is a censoring. It's a form of censoring. You tell your kids, be quiet. You tell your friend in your spaces that you control, you tell people to be quiet. I don't hear no more. I control this space. This is my house, my car, my office, judge, courtroom, police, my crime scene, whatever, my interrogation. Everybody who's in authoritative position has the power of censorship. When you come into our spaces, home, judge, interrogation room, podcast, there's no freedom of speech. You're going to play ball or you're going to get out. Okay? As creators, as content creators, we are producers and directors. We say cut and we say action as we please. And if something's not going to script, cut. You dig? Yes. We got to keep, especially if our shows are built on integrity, like mine is. I'm not going to allow nobody come over and lie, FBA or non. You're not going to come over here lying. I'm going to mute your ass if I had to keep the integrity of this show going. So, yes, we're going to mute people because people are out of control and they don't know how to behave themselves. But I, sir, ladies, everybody, when I'm a guest on people panels, I don't got to be muted. I know how to have a conversation. I know I'm not in authority. I know when they say, okay, done, you can't, okay, be quiet. I'm quiet. I don't have no ego. I see Tariq Nasheed on being a guest on Fox 5 or wherever. He's had the same discipline. Malcolm X, Dr. Khaled, we all, Minister Louis Farrakhan, we all have the same discipline. Sister Soldier, when we go places, although we're very valiant, we're valiant warriors for the lineage, but when we're on unfamiliar land, foreign land, we know how to play ball to the rules that we don't govern. Likewise, when people become a guest on my panel, you're a guest and you're subjecting yourself to my rules. Yes, so everybody mutes. I hate when people act like the mute button is like a dangerous taboo button. No, that's how you maintain order.
That every immigrant they see over here come across the border. Yeah, man, you got to teach them and let them know that's not how it works.
Well, you teach them. You're here. Teach them.
Yeah. Listen, guys.
Okay, so let me respond to Munda. He says people going to say you're scared. No, you're going to say we scared. You're going to say that. But again, my thing to you, I'm speaking to you personally now. You let me know when you have a recorded dialogue with somebody who's confrontational. Show us how it's done. Show us how you don't got to mute them. They could just talk over you and lie. Show us how it's done. You have no evidence of that. So you guys are coming to our platforms to see how it's done in real life. Okay, I gave all the examples, and to him that meant nothing. He responds, but you're scared, or he said people will say that. Well, we can't be scared if we're taking people on the fly. Like, we don't know who people are. We have no idea what you're going to say. We're just prepared for almost everything. Everything you can say, we're prepared for that, or we try to be. So that don't sound like a scared person. Scared person don't take no call-ins like Sarasu said. He takes no call-ins. What's the guy? Afro Think Tank, Afro Pink Tank. No call-ins. Bushi Bear. You dig? Like, these are the guys who are scared. So y'all got to stop. Like, some of y'all tetherisms or proximity tetherisms coming out.
FBA guys, every year your government gave out a certain amount of visa to immigrants for them to come to the US. So when you see immigrants here, it's not every immigrant come across the border. Okay? Yeah, man. So when you see
well, that you did come across. That's what makes you an immigrant, sir.
No, I'm talking about like come across the border like how Mexicans would do it.
Okay, no, I mean, we know that. I mean, you're not teaching us.
Yeah, now I'm gonna play this guy a little later. Yeah, so like the mute button thing, yeah, like, to me that's dear to me. I'm passionate about that because people who don't have conversations would think that. People who don't know how to articulate their ideas, don't know how to be reasonable. Yeah, you're probably one of those people who just talks, don't listen. No, over here, I'm gonna teach people how to have a conversation. Like I said, Moonduck want to skip this part. I just said Tariq Nasheed, myself, Yvette Carnell, whoever you can name. When we're on different platforms, Dennis Sperling, when we're on different platforms, we know how to behave ourselves. We don't get muted, even though the other person is an adversary. We know how to conduct ourselves in their spaces where we don't get muted. The most we can do is just hang up. If they don't let us talk, or they being disingenuous, or they're lying, we just hang up. But we don't got to show an ugly side, right? Yeah, that part you skipped over. We go to these different platforms and hostile environments, and we conduct ourselves to the best ability, right? I set the example of how to be a guest. I pride myself on that. I talk about that all the times. I teach you guys and the haters how to be a true guest. I take my ass to some hostile environment, pseudo killers, Sonetta, JJ, other coronavirus podcast, whatever. I go over there, and when they be like, all right, Q Butter, and they be like, yo, man, okay, relax. I stop. They keep going. I'm like, yo, can I talk now? Because once I know I can't talk, I just hang up. I don't got to subject myself to abuse. Right. But people like myself do that because we want to show people how it's done. We don't get muted. So if a person asks me a question, matter of fact, I went to JJ's. He said, yo, you can't tell me nothing. He said, don't ask no questions. You're just going to answer questions the whole time you're here. I said, all right, cool. And I played that over here. I was on Star Report. I went over there. I did great. And guess what? Okay, let me stop you there, sir. I'll be quiet. All right. So yeah, man, you got to know how to control yourself, your thoughts, and be confident who you are. When you're confident in your information, you don't mind stopping, pausing, being muted, or being asked to stop. Because I'm not going to lose my thought. I'm focused as hell, and I'm on a mission. But people call in our shows, they want to debunk us. They don't want to listen. And they're trying to argue against the inevitable, the indisputable, which is delineation. That's why we accept call-ins on the fly, challenges on the fly. Dude say you're gonna debate Sean about what? Delineation? Yeah, I'll debate your cult leader on delineation. Like that's an argument that can't lose. But they're not gonna argue that. They're gonna debate something stupid that which we don't really care, like some side topic. Yo, man, you guys said, okay, bro. Listen, man. We stomp hard for reparations and delineation. That's we stomp hard for it. Any sidebar, side topic, nah. I entertain it on my podcast. But a debate, let's debate delineation. I know I'm gonna destroy them. Let's debate who's black and who's not. You dig? Stuff like that, where it takes real research, real grammatical skills. Gotta know about etymology and language, things like that. They're gonna wither away. You dig? And later on, I want to talk about this. Not that. Not this weirdo. I want to talk about this later on. What's going on in Iran?
This is the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's strategy here is simple.
Okay, so I want to talk about this later. I did some great research with that. So tune in later for that. Strait Hormuz. What's going on over there? Why it needs to be open? How it's going to affect how Iran is trying to stop the world from moving by blocking it or threatening to close it for good, and why Western powers is struggling to keep it open with all that military might and all the money in the world. I'm gonna talk about that later on. I got some wings. I can spread them. But yeah. So yeah, no. I got this one guy who wants to debate me, the Ali guy, the guy who came over here and was like, "Yo, man, was Malcolm X's father a Garveyite?" So now he brought Garvey into the conversation. We talking about Malcolm X. Is he a Pan-African or is he FBA? In thoughts, ways and actions. Does he have the ideology of an FBA, proud to be black and American, or does he have the ideology of he hates America and he wants to be an African somewhere? So he introduced Marcus Garvey. Well, wasn't Malcolm X a Garveyite? I was like, dude, you don't want to go to Garvey, bro. Just keep it where we at. Nah, answer the question. All right. No, Malcolm X was not a Garveyite. His dad was. And speaking of Garvey, you dig? So he took it there. I took it there. Speaking of Garvey, was he a scammer? You dig? You know where I'm going. Oh, how much? And that's where I was going this next video, but we're gonna have time to play that video. We'll do that later after I leave the gym. But yeah, man, he went to Garvey. I went to Garvey. Is Garvey a scammer? Oh, nah. See, then I gave him the irrefutable evidence. Okay, yeah, but all right, no. Let's stay on Garvey. I got some more questions for Garvey. Oh, nah, he's trying to run like hell. Now, I warned you. I said, don't go to Garvey, my guy. Stick to Malcolm X. And what we're arguing, what was he? Was Malcolm X a proud black man, or was he a guy who loved Africa and wanted to trade his Americanness for African? Right? Because I cooked him there. But hey, bro, Malcolm X was never a Pan-African, my guy. He couldn't get past that. So now he's talking about, yo, let's debate again. Let's have a 2-minute. I ain't do no 2-minute with you, bro. You can't even keep on topic. I wish I would debate somebody that is off topic for 2 minutes and then get done. Like, yeah, answer that. It's like, yo, that had nothing to do with what we were supposed to talk about, my guy. Had nothing to do with it. I'm not answering that. If you don't answer this random, yo, see, the black widow spider, right? When she mates with a male, afterwards she eats it, right? And the reason why she eats it is because she is hungry. Ha! Counter that. Like, yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's why, for me, we got to have a conversation first so it could be on record what we're going to talk about later. I'm not going to let nobody just randomly just start changing the topics, moving goalposts, which most people do. Because my freestyle, like my call-in freestyle, debate and argument is better than most people presentation, well thought out, bullet points. So y'all don't want to see me with a bullet point. It ain't no chance in hell to beat me. I found out those Arabs are the biggest sodomite. Yeah, oh yeah. You know they be going on to Dubai to get pooped on. Yeah, they're some weirdos, man. Yeah, but yeah. I seen Sonetta meet the hell out of people. But it's justified. It's their show. When they say stop, you gotta stop. You're not nobody. You join a podcast. You're a guest, and you're subjected to podcast rules. People know better. They just play stupid when it's FBA. Defending the lineage. Now all of a sudden the mute button is taboo. You should never press it. So to let the show just be chaotic and just talking over each other. No, you got to maintain order. And what we don't do is let people just talk. No, you're going to maintain your integrity. You're going to stay on topic. And then once you get cooked or you're forced to admit certain things or acknowledge certain things, yeah, you could change the topic to whatever's next. And the link's in the chat. Let me see. Ooh, anybody waiting? The link's in the chat. Anybody want to click that link? It's in the chat. Broke wristed. Hey, Moon Duck, what great point was being made? So now we're going to give you the attention now. Okay. No, okay. So, okay. So you got my attention. What great point? I'll go back to the video. What great point that was being made that was subdued? Tell me. 227, stop with the excuses. If I wasn't at work right now, I would call in. I really would love to see you and Sean debate. Just come on. No. I'm not. No. I don't do that. I don't do that, bro. You just come over there and stop. Man, we gotta do the bait and switch shit, bro. My channel's way bigger than his. I get no. Bro, I don't go to a channel to talk and not be heard. Like it get archived. Like it get indirectly archived because nobody ever goes over there. Nobody ever gonna see it. We don't do that. You don't do that. See, the thing about me, 227, I just said, I know you're Sean. The thing about me and you, Sean, is that I have a history of pulling up on ops channels. You don't. You only send invitations, you don't accept them. All last year, I just accept invitations. I barely sent them. So 2026, I said, nah, we're gonna change it up. I said, folks gonna come over here now. So all 2026, all 2025, I was accepting invitations everywhere. I was everywhere last year. Look at my channel, man. I was on everybody platform, subjected to their rules. But listen, you said you're at work. Don't worry. I'm going live later. And I'll be live later. You dig? So you got all day to pull up. And you can bring that weirdo with you. All right. Yeah, but oh my God. Yeah, sure he would. I guarantee he'll debate you. I will bring him over then. The hell. When you call in after work, bring him over. But I want Moon Duck. To tell me about okay. He said I just want to argue. Bro, you're the hey family. You see the bait and switch? Let me play the sad violin for Moon Duck. Dude, you gotta stop. You just said when he mutes people when they have a good point. I said, give me the good point that they mute him more, and I might agree. But you didn't give it. You can't just make up hypothetical lies. All right. All right. Well, look, Moon Duck, do me a favor, bro. Start a podcast, invite tethers over there, white supremacists over there, go live, argue with them, make great points like us, and then don't mute them. Let them just talk freely. Okay, yeah, so you guys be lying. You guys be lying, and you're deceiving the people.
You are deceiving people.
Criticize it. He's funny. Yeah, but 227, stop. 227. All you got to do is, I mean, shit. Why don't you look? You be the messenger for Sean. You come over here and you have a conversation with me about delineation, and let's see how well you do. Because if you're a fan over there, and if you don't do good, then how you expect your leader to do good? Yeah, so let's talk about delineation, but not just that. Let's talk about Africa. Let's talk about a few things. Like, we don't got to stay long on a topic, but yeah, 227. I want you to stop by. What time you get off work? Let's get a time for you, and I'll make time for you. What time are you getting off work? No matter of fact, what time would you have time to call in? How about that? Right. Like I said, like, dudes be lying. The dudes watch podcasts all day long, and he see that people get muted all the time. It's a button that's used often. Man, you see how the Nigerians. Oh yeah. So we're gonna talk about that Nigerian thing later. Matter of fact, 227 got to explain that Nigerian thing, that Nigerian practice. Yeah, 227. I'm gonna hold you to that. But let us know what time you get off work, and I would gladly welcome you on. I know your man not coming. So give us a time. I'm gonna head to the gym and play a little basketball. I know I'm gonna be tired as hell because I went live early today, super early. So I'm gonna be tired when I get off. Gonna get done balling. So I probably won't go live to about 2-3 o'clock. I'm guessing. Okay, hold on. But just a reminder.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
All right, and we got no friends. No friends. Tell us.
Who are you kidding about friends in the world? Damn it, if you want a friend, look in the mirror.
And that has become true for FBAs. If we want a friend, look in the mirror. Let me see. Give me a second, family. Second. Anybody can. The Teflon Sean, $10 super chat in the building. He said, regarding Arabs, there is a hadith saying that while a man is waiting for his wife to mature, Allah will grant him a small mercy by allowing him into a, oh my God, hold on. He said Allah will grant him a small mercy by allowing him to go into his man's.
Pause.
However, he may never marry his mom. He may never marry his mom. Okay, so it'll be okay. So 227 Kemet. All right. So okay, so we'll say about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So the Allah will let him grant a small mercy. So he just want to plug anything. So he just want to just penetrate anything at that point.
Pause.
I'll be around 3:30. Okay, 3:30 is fine. Boy, all right. Black, yeah, thank you for the super chat. The Lineage love, $10. Black FBA Butterfly. Why people? Hey, you know what? He said why people always call up telling people how to run the channel. Hey, yo, I thought like Moonduck. Like, it's crazy? That's how I thought. I'm like, yeah, Tariq do be muting people until I got my feet in the fire. I'm like, yo, and then I'm like, damn. I said, yo, you gotta mute people. Like, I thought the same thing. That's why I said, like, it's easy for somebody to look at what we do and say that's easy to like respond to anybody. Remember, the link's pinned right now in the conversation. That means anybody who calls can ask me any question, and I'm not without me knowing the question in advance. So I can't prepare for it. And most likely it's a gotcha question. The revenues, the tether dreams, they call in with the other guy who hates calling himself, who hates the word black. That says American is an ethnicity. This fool. Yeah, but all these people call in, Rob Bourne, with the gotchas. We don't know what they're going to say in advance. We don't prepare nothing. No advanced research. We just got to defend and be smart 24/7 for our lineage, for our audience at all times. You feel me? We got to be perfect. You know, that's how it comes off. Yeah. But I realized, man, like, revenue, you know, he comes over here disrespectful, disingenuous. I ask about a question. He's talking about something like he's like oftentimes I get him and I want to keep going in and he'll try to change the subject. Yeah, y'all know how revenue does. You debunk him, he'll go right to the next thing. You won't even acknowledge that he just got cooked. Like, no, we're not doing that, my guy. You're going to acknowledge you're wrong. You got cooked. We'll move on. He said, if you call yourself FBA, Tariq Nasheed is your de facto leader. I said, really? I said, well, Professor Smalls called himself FBA. Is Tariq his leader? Ancient Mama Syrup Lady called herself FBA. Is Tariq her leader? You know, it's like, see, man, like your own standard you don't even stick to. Yeah, but you have to mute. You got to mute. All right, all right, family. Nah, I just said I thought the same thing until I started to like take on challenges. You don't know because until you go out there and talk to people. Matter of fact, that dude 227 is gonna call in at 3:30. Moondocks, would you like to talk to him first? Yes or no? Because I can have you guys talk first. You could defend delineation with that guy first. And then before you know it, boss, mute him. Hey, how about when he invites sisters to talk to like the tethers, the haters on his podcast, and they talk over those sisters, talk over Dan. I mean, so much so that they gotta say, Tariq Nasheed, mute him, because he won't mute him. Or maybe he's busy, whatever. But they gotta yell me, listen, man. We're not listening to Moonduck on this topic. He's wrong. Golden Brown somewhere like smiling hard right now. I got him. She's somewhere smiling hard right now. Finally got him. Nah, but serious though, like we got to stop being heavy overcritical on ourselves and look at the totality of what's going on. Stop. That's like saying, yo, Tariq Nasheed be roasting people, yo. He immature, but skip the context where the other guy started first. As a matter of fact, I started to document all those videos, by the way, family, starting yesterday. I went back to when people say, yo, he be doing this, doing that. I'm showing you guys how it starts. The guy, they all call in and start the defamatory language first, or the roasting first, the lying first, and then it goes left. So that's what I'm doing, family. I started to go back and document. So it's a lot of videos, but when I'm like got a little time, I went back or I'm playing chess, whatever. I went back, started documenting all the episodes where he got into a confrontation with a tether or white supremacist, and they started the roasting or the disrespect first, and then Tariq flamed him. Right. So when people make up that excuse, oh no, he be okay. Watch this. Give me your thoughts. The play-by-play. Yeah, go to browse a woman. Hey, yo, she be trying to comment in the yo, that is a bitter, oh my God, that is a bitter woman, bruh. She be commenting and she just be angry, yo. She be angry as hell, man. For no reason. She gotta be. Easy. All right, it'll be okay. Like that's an angry goddamn woman. Yeah, but anybody can be criticized, right? Nobody's above reproach. You feel me? So if Tariq's wrong at something, I'll be the first to say. I'll be the first to say, yeah, he was wilding right here. He like when he debated Jared Taylor, when he got jumped by Jared Taylor and his mans, I told y'all early on, Tariq Nasheed struggled in the debate because he fell into the whole trying to prove global white supremacy. I said, never do that. You let those countries hold their own nuts and prove global white supremacy. We ain't proving global white supremacy. We're proving national white supremacy. You dig? I don't care about the colonizers somewhere else. They got that burden is on them. So when he did that, they started to talk about China, and now he got to defend China politics, and they went to like Jared Taylor knew what he was doing. So Tariq had a slow start. Like it wasn't looking good. Because he was trying to defend global white supremacy, and they was trying to be real technical and specific with China and Japan, and they mentioned Saudi Arabia, and like, nah, like it wasn't looking good for Tariq. So I'm like, yeah, nah, hell no. Nah, we ain't defending no global white supremacy. We are defending national white supremacy. What the white supremacy that we know. We always say nobody know a white man better than us. Well, we don't know the white man in Saudi Arabia better than them. We don't know the white man in China better than the Chinese man, you dig? So we're going to let them handle their white man, and we're going to handle ours. Yeah, so I'll keep it real. So I said, yeah, that wasn't a good strategy. And hopefully he don't go back to that, because that's giving folks momentum for no reason. He said he thought Golden Brown was an old ninja. All right, give me a second. Let me switch to my phone as I head to the gym. One. I got some revenue too when he called in. Now watch the case in point. Watch. I'm letting you know right now how I'm going to have to mute revenue. I'm telling you guys in advance. 881 4319 6. Okay. Yo, why this shit ain't working? When revenue calling again, we're going to talk about some things. We're going to bring up his master teachers again. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so Moondog said he's been a victim of the mute button. I mean, but damn, I mean, I don't know your situation, so I can't tell you if they were right or wrong. Like, I don't, like, you got to send a clip. Put the link of that in the chat and let us see for ourselves. And you dig? So now we know there's a record of you being muted. All right, let us see it. Let us determine and judge to see if that mute was justified or was it abuse. But we have somebody said E31 312 E31 said China's easy. You have to explain who's stopping them from annexing Taiwan. You said it's easy. I mean, listen, if y'all want to defend other people, yeah, go ahead. I'm done with that. I'm really delineating, like where I'm about FBA and that's it. Like some of y'all say y'all delineating, you're still putting the cape on for other people, other countries, or where white supremacy. I'm good. I'm only defending my people. It's easy. Y'all say it's easy, then go out there and debate these white supremacists and record it. We want the proof. We want to see how easy it is. We can learn. Okay. Because Mike Tyson said what? Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah, so we got to see that video, Moonduck. We got to see that video of you being muted. Because people, I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why I go to different platforms, even though it's a hostile environment and it's adversarial, because people normally don't mute. Like that's not, listen, family, muting, you're talking to somebody who's been on plenty platforms. You dig? Plenty platforms and respectable, large platforms at that. You feel me? And I'm gonna tell you, like people mainly, and the reason why I go to different platforms, because people mainly don't mute you. You know, people mute you for like different reasons. Like you're just making too much sense. You're debunking them. You'll get muted. Or you're talking too much. You're out of order, or it ain't your turn. But like, there's usually a reason why you get muted, bad or good. There's a reason, and that's why I used to go on platforms, because before that reason, I'm able to talk. Oh, I was muted on TikTok. So when I finally joined a TikTok group, they were talking about black, right? Some black stuff, including like Tethers and whoever else. And like it was like, I think about Black History Month, and like I didn't like it because I expected him to record it. I thought TikTok Spaces they record the dialogue. So the guy didn't apparently didn't record it. I thought I was gonna play it to you guys. You guys can hear. But as I was like debunking their talking points very respectfully, because I know how to go on another person's platform and be respectful and don't come off as disrespectful. You feel me? So I went on there respectfully and I started to debunk, or at least address, in my mind, it debunked, right? But let me say, I went on to address their talking points against FBA. They start to mute me. Okay. In my mind, I'm making too much sense. And I was being muted as a result. I didn't trip. I waited and they started talking, whatever. And then when I felt like they was talking over me, I unmuted myself. The Teflon Sean 730 $10 super chat again. Thank you very much. He said, revenue's tactics for every question you ask revenue. His answer will be, well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. He's a West Indian tether, mad at our delineation. Me, nah, no screw face. Right. And then, yeah, and then it's always also when you debunk it or prove them wrong, where it's like clear, there's the next argument. Like he lets that thing go like it's to like, you know, what show was that? They had the cue cards. When they ask you a question, you answer, they drop it, the card, and go to the next one. I think it's that triangle show. What's that show? Yeah, y'all remember way back in the day. Yeah, so when I go to a podcast, even a hostile podcast that's anti-FBA, I don't expect to be muted right away. I expect that I'm going to say too much, debunk too much, and then get muted, right? And then, like I said, back to the TikTok thing. So when I seen them like happy on the mute button, you know what I did? I said, all right, well, let me stop bullshitting, because you know what, family? I try to ease my way in the conversation and then hit them with the Hiroshima, you know, lightly. Like, you know, with Novocaine, you know, Malcolm X said, white supremacy have you suffered peacefully. So my idea is to go into that TikTok space and figuratively have them suffer peacefully. When I dropped that Hiroshima, it don't feel so bad because I'm coming with good dialogue. But when they started to mute me a lot, Moonduck, I didn't get mad about being muted. I just said, okay, let me get to the point now. Let me stop BSing and just get to the point now. So the point I really came there for was the topic. But I wanted to like smooth them over before I do that because I knew they weren't going to like it. So, but once I was getting muted, I said, all right, the plan is scrapped. Let me just do it. So I politely said, hey, can I say one more thing before I go? Sure, go ahead. We are the only black. You ain't black at all. You are what you said you are. You are from that African place, right? Whatever you are, Cameroon, the last person Nigerian, got it. Y'all from Africa, I get it. You're not black because there's no black area in Africa. There's 54 countries and they're all named. The tribes are named. Everything is named. Nothing is black. But America, we got black culture. We got black hip hop. We got black dishes, black soul food. We got black this, black that. Look, there's a white Bart. We got a black Bart. A white Santa. We got a black Santa. There's a black version of everything. We got the Black Panthers, Black Wall Street. Like we pretty much call our part of America black. So, or let me say this: we call our contributions to America black. We named them our identity. So all of our contributions, we call them blacks. Be no confusion that this was our footprint, our fingerprint on these things that happened in America or involved something in America, right? So we call it black. Black History Month, right? That's our history in America. We got the Black American Heritage flag. This is our flag in America. You dig? Black resistance, black wealth, black marriage. You dig? I keep going on. So yeah, so we call things after our identity, so be no confusion on who was responsible for A, B, and C. Man, and yo, they didn't mute me. I guess they wanted to see where I was going. So once I landed my plane, oh my God, they was like, oh, no, you didn't. You ain't gonna tell me I'm not black. I'm black. I said, what sense are you black? You just dark skinned? That don't make you black. That make you just dark skinned. Because Prince is light as snow and he's black. So color doesn't make you black, my guy. So you can't explain in what sense are you black other than you being dark. But that's not how we define black. And you're calling yourself black by our definition. Because the white man definition was a derogatory sense. It was in a derogatory way. And why would you call yourself something a white man called you? And why would you take his definition? You know, that's an X on them. So are you black because the white man called you that? Then, okay. So you're still not black like us because we're black because we called ourselves that. You dig? So we're still different in our blackness. But make no mistake, our blackness had nothing to do with our skin color. FBA CJ said, if you see Birth of a Nation, you will get an idea of what African culture is. Chad Smith in the building? Yeah, so I'm going to play that Marcus Garvey clip later, man. I wanted to play it just now, but I realized I'd have been too late. I told my friend, well, he told me he'll be at 9:40. I'll supposed to be there way earlier than him, but it looks like we might get there at the same time. Teflon Sean, wait, hold on, goddamn, is back in the building with another super chat. All right, family. Appreciate the love and donations. He says, tether test question. This was Tariq that she asked. This is hilarious. In church, what's the one thing you don't want your, hold on, shit keep going blank. What's the one thing you don't want your moms to do in church? He said, answer, catch the Holy Ghost. Yo, my God, yo. He said, "What's the one thing you want your mom to do in church?" Yo, you are hilarious, yo. He said, "Catch the Holy Ghost." Damn, this fucking screen is crazy. He said, "Catch the Holy Ghost. Start shouting. Texas don't know." The one thing you don't want to do is what your mom to do is catch the Holy Ghost in church. That is hilarious, yo. Yeah, they don't know nothing about Sunday school. They don't know nothing, man. Talk to me about Sunday school, my guy. Or how about this? Which relative was the pastor? If you had a relative in the church and they were a pastor, which one would the relative most likely be? And what denomination? You dig? Come on, man. These guys not ready, man. What denomination? Or where you went to church? Where? What denomination? What denomination? Yeah. You didn't think about that one, did you? What denomination of Christianity were your family? Got him. Can't lie about that one. 227 said, "What's the definition of black?" Okay, so I can't tell you the definition of black because there's many definitions of black. Right? Yeah, so I can't, because you could easily go to Webster Dictionary and look up a definition of black. It's going to show you a couple of them. So black. So I all I can say is that black is a color. Black is also used as a descriptive word. It can describe something, right? So you could say black car, black cat, right? But sometimes black is synonymous with dark when you're describing people, human beings. So you'll say he's black, but he ain't really black. But the cat is definitely black. You dig? The horse is absolutely black. The car is absolutely black, like the color. But when you're describing a human being, he's never the color of the cat or the car or the marker. So that's why when it comes to human beings, black is synonymous with just dark skin, a dark person. Nobody means the color black when you say a human being is black. So my phone is, my God, it should keep going to sleep mode. Ronan said, Grandpa Baptist. Word, yeah, that relative is gonna be granddaddy for sure. He said Baptist, cool. So now Texas might still the answer, granddad. But don't you steal that religion, that denomination. Don't y'all can't say you're Baptist. That's why I say what state. I'm gonna ask you what state and what denomination. All right. Trust me, when it comes to religion, can't lie. You can't lie because you guys, your church did certain things under that denomination that other churches don't do. Ha! You dig? Other black churches don't do. So the only way to know for sure is to be FBA and grow up in the church. Because you witness it firsthand. You know, like we got cousins, we got aunts, we got sisters, we got mothers who are way more religious than we were in church. And they did stuff that we seen. We didn't do, but we seen. And some of us did do it. But for the most part, we definitely either experienced it or seen it. So we know the actions. All right. We know the actions. Sure. So you can't really lie about the church. Lex Vortex, peace to you. It's a peace and power. Hey Lex, you might want to call a little later about about my man say ready at 3:30. Yes, so Lex, I'll have you on. Lex, if you're around at 3:30, because that's when 227 says he's going to call in. So Lex want to call in at 3:30 to have a conversation. That'll be fire. Salute to Lex Paul Zandam in the building. The one only Saints. Oh, Saints, you clicked the link too early. I still had more video to play, but I did see you in the queue. And I'm headed to the gym right now, but yeah, man, I'm almost there. So a call in wouldn't even be necessary right now because I'm almost at the gym. I'm having fun with the family till I get there. I'm gonna ball up. Gotta catch this last light. I ain't catch it behind this fool. My God. All right. Ooh. Teflon Sean back in the super chat. Someone from the sub-Saharan African, right? 227. I don't know what that question is. I start talking about different things. I'm lost. But that's why it's better to call in. So I ain't got to try to remember what we were talking about. You dig? Yeah, so I'm at the gym. Let me see who's in the queue. But I can't let nobody on. I'm at the gym. I'm at the end of live. Hold on. Can't, man, I'm on my phone. Can't let my battery die. Beat my battery. I got let me see. Maxwell Jenkins in the building. Let me see. Let me see. Take that out. The queue. Yeah, I can't let nobody in right now because I'm out. I'm actually going to end the live. I'm at the gym. It says Lex. Let me let Lex know. Lex, thank.
Yo, peace.
Oh yeah, so I was trying to tell y'all to call in at 3:30 because I'm at the gym. I just got at the gym right now. I'm about to end the live, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's
I got a guy from the
Shalom, Lex. Shalom, Ron. I'm
Shalom.
hit you up at 3 because and let me know. I got the notification. I'm waiting because I definitely want to hear your opinion on that festival that took place in West Africa. They can never share the term black or race with me ever. The men of Africa look so cowardly right now. All the Pan-Africanism looks cowardly and bitch made based on what happened over there. I want to see how they're going to talk their way out of this one. And that particular part of Nigeria deserves to be nuclear bombed. To see that young lady get dragged, off.
Wait. We got to be careful with the
No, I ain't gonna drop the R word, and excuse my language, but to see them grab that young lady and drag her off to do, what they was gonna do to her, all of Africa should be ashamed of themselves, and Pan-Africanism should be ashamed of themselves too. All the lives that they was doing yesterday, they don't even want to touch it or talk about it. Just cowards, just cowards, disgraceful.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that a little later. Yeah, select.
But I just wanted to say this to y'all brothers. Okay. Africa can never share the racial term black with me ever, Ron, ever.
Yeah, well, they never had it. So it's not shareable. Like you have files, like you have a computer, you got files, and you can make the files shareable. You can make them non-shareable, and black was never a shareable term. But the guy is coming from the Masi warrior clan. he kept no we gotta talk to him because
You're not talking about Sean P, are you?
now that coward would never come over here. All right, Lex, as you know, we both know this guy. You know he's not smart. I know he's not smart. All he do is regurgitate what another person said, and he trusts them. He appeals to authority more than anybody on this earth. You like dude do no research
P is me and Sean P actually got into it. You know, he's in Tennessee. We actually met up, but it turned out I could. Huh?
I said, "Real, I didn't know that word."
Yeah, we was about to get it in because I mean they was talking on the live or whatever, and so I'm like, nigga, I'm right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? But shit be different in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's alright. The brother's just confused. But Marcia Warrior Clan is a spinoff of the Armin Roth frauds, and they're just groupies, man. But I wanted to speak about the DNA stuff too, man, because but it looks like you about to close out. But there's a lot of confusion about the DNA, man, and I put a lot of information out. I laid it all out in the Holy FBA Codex, by the way. But a lot of the DNA that they say is African or whatever, a lot of people don't know, and a lot of the Pan-African so-called scientists, they don't know. They find you have to know that they do find those so-called African markers in America. They do, like EM2 and all of that. But when you read the studies, you have to read the footnotes. So what they'll do is they have a law, basically, right? Because when they do DNA, they have to assign categories to the markers, right? In order to place people. So they have to say, this right here is African. This right, and it's really some of it is illogical. You know what I'm saying? So when they do find a marker, ancient marker, that so-called African marker in America, they have a law that to just call it contamination. Just like the cocaine mummies.
I got you. It's not saying like it's like this was a mistake, like an error.
No, they'll say, well, somebody mishandled the DNA, and it was maybe I don't know how this happens, but they'll just say, for instance, if you look up something called the 2020 Palenque study, right, where they did a study over in was it Brazil, amongst a Brazilian tribe over there, and they found a marker called BA2, right, which is not a native, so-called Native American marker or anything. BA2 is not found in West Africa, and it's not found in an indigenous population. Y'all can look this up. The only other place where it's found is a remote tribe somewhere in South Africa, and they're almost extinct. They wasn't even a part of the slave trade. So how do you get BA2 in America if it didn't come through slavery?
Right.
So these markers, I'm not saying that like the DNA thing is a scam, man. And when I say it's a scam, I don't mean like other people, like DNA don't exist.
Right.
And a lot of the dudes, like, especially people like Unc and Dr. Ma, they don't even understand. It's like, bro, they're so slow, and the people think these people are so smart. That's why they demonized me and didn't want me to talk for years, because I beat them up. And people know I beat them up on evolution years ago. Y'all can go look up the debate I had with Ngozi back in 2014. Ever since then, they mocked me and have been trying to defile my character and all of that, so no one will listen. But they'll never debate me. They don't understand DNA, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, these people are not. That's why they walk around and promote their titles, like Dr. Mahat. First of all, Your doctorate is in engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't produce nothing in the engineering field. You're not an expert in biology and DNA and archaeology.
Yeah, see, and
Go
bro,
ahead,
that
bro.
is the scam. I've been saying that for years, not just for her, but even like Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Not to get on him, but yeah, what they'll do is they'll be a doctor in something else, and then use that to promote something that got nothing to do with their doctorate degree.
Right. And then you got these people out here that be calling everyone pseudo, and they're the biggest pseudos, bro. I'm gonna tell you, when you look at people like the Ahmed Ra Squad and Marcy Warwick,
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hey, Sean, oh my God.
All they do is read and repeat. That is not science. Science is about inquiry, challenging, imagination. That's what moves science for. You just don't pull up an article. Where's your source? Okay, the source says this. Okay, discussion over. Yeah. That's key. Because the person who wrote this article, you got to know where they're coming from. You still got to analyze it. Just because a scientist said it, there's scientists who disagree with that article.
Right.
So you have to look at all the information yourself, like a detective, and then put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these people are sad. And one thing I'm upset about, though, is my man Tariq. Why do you have Dr. Ra'at in Hidden Colors 6?
Who's that, Dr. Ra'at?
Dr. Ma'at. I call her Dr. Ra'at.
Oh, Dr. Rat.
Yeah. Because you know she's a federal snitch, right? She worked for the feds. She literally worked for the feds.
Well, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, now.
Still?
Well, I don't know about still, but so.
Damn.
And this is the connection with her and Ankh, because you know Ankh is a military guy. He's ex-military. And he comes from them, he's an ex-military and a smug dealer, right? So you know.
Yeah.
So what happened, and they're both from Baltimore, right? So now I used to talk on a regular to young Pharaoh. Now, when young Pharaoh, for some reason, they were so mad at young Pharaoh when he was challenging them, and they did that brother dirty, man, all over information. Dr. Ma'at went to his PO officer because he was beating her up and exposing the fact that she was facing 20 years for bank fraud, and somehow everybody else got evicted and she didn't. But anyway, they didn't call this man. He was going to court. They tried to get him locked up over information. Dr. Ma'at, bro. Called his PO officer and then was taking him to court. Now, at this time, young Pharaoh wanted to give me the information because during the court, he couldn't put the information out there because he would get more charges or whatever. Something was going on. But he told me about the whole thing, how they was trying to get him locked up. So if you look up Dana Bailey, you'll find out that she was going to court for bank fraud, and other people on the case got like years in jail. She did no time. So when they be trying to portray this, and I'm going to tell you, she's out here doing voodoo on people. When you be arguing with her, she be going in the basement doing, she is evil as fuck, bro. I'm telling you. They try to do this. Y'all, you think that shit is a joke? Them motherfuckers into that black magic African shit. Trust me, because I studied that shit intensely. But so she's not no model citizen scholar. She's a hood rat chick from Baltimore.
Yes. So what you know about the other guy from Baltimore? The I call him Dr. Ruxpin, the Dennis Asar Winkler guy.
I don't know much about him. But I'm gonna tell you, that whole thing is a psyops. This whole like Ankh and them, bro. I'm convinced You know what I'm saying? There was a dude who used to roll with me in my crew, and he used to be fighting right alongside with us against the whole so-called Amin Ra squad and all that scientific, we come from monkey shit and all that, right? Now this nigga, and then come to find out, this dude is a Fed, like a real Fed. He be over on Sarnetto's channel. His name is Dazali. He called himself Monster.
Oh, hey, yo, that dude came over here.
He's a Fed. He was down with
Wow.
He betrayed me and started rolling with the dude used to talk about aliens. When he used to be on my channel talking about aliens, and when he was in the army, how he seen wild men, these creatures in Iraq. The dude is a Fed, literally. And then when you ask him about it, I think the dude works, I'm talking about NSA type shit, bro. And then when you ask him about it, he'll say, oh, I lived a good life. In other words, he was willing to say, yeah, I sold out, but I lived a good life. So what you gonna say?
Right.
So why do you have Feds over there like that, bro? You know what I'm saying? You got uncles in the military. You got Dr. Mahat, who was committing bank fraud. That's on record.
Yeah, that's wild.
You see what I'm saying? So I believe she cut a deal. But anyway, these people, bro, man, they are some evil, evil people. Because even with this FBA stuff, bro, like, why there's really no beef? Why are y'all coming against the lineage? You know why?
Right.
Because not only are they agents, but it's about money and marketing. They've been so invested into the African paradigm that wants to sell his shoes. They want to get donated. They want to act like they're scientifically literate and all that. And it's just the total opposite. Listen, bro, some things, first of all, what we're talking about is socio-political. This ain't no goddamn scientific conversation like that.
Right, at all. Zero. Yeah. It's
You see what I'm saying? Now we can get into
but they keep trying to swing it that way.
Right. This is a socio-political conversation. Everyone knows that the small hats ain't no goddamn chosen people of God. Anyone that got sense. But you don't see them arguing. There's secular Jews who do not believe in none of that crap. But they're not going to go against the grain that benefits them socially and politically. So, okay, yeah, we're the chosen people. Okay, yeah. Kick their ass, get them out the land. God said the land belongs to us. Kick them out. You see what I'm saying? These niggas are so ignorant and selfish that they will go against our social-political movement that puts us in a better position off of selfish monetary reasons that have nothing to do with the conversation. Because when we're talking about reparations, identity, nigga, what benefit is it socially and politically to say we ain't got no ties to this land? We're from a whole other land.
Yeah, the dude. I got a video exposing Brother Reggie, and the dude literally was trying to argue against reparations, and then like he pretty much concluded that we just can't get it. Like that's it. Like stop trying, you ain't getting it. And then he did that, and in the same video, he then later on said we could get it, but we got to follow his lead and his way. It was a wild, like just like
bro,
agent type video.
Bro. I know Reggie's a complete fuck idiot, bro. And I don't say that just because I don't like him. I mean, I really don't. I mean, you know, he's a weirdo dude to me and whatever. But bro, he's not even intelligent to like, he doesn't, man, like, bro, it's just so crazy. Because here's the thing with Dr. Reggie. And here's what my challenge to you. If you are aware of the law and we don't know what we're talking about, no one else, then why don't you come in to just help us instead of why are you going against it?
Right. Which is wild.
Why is your spirit anti? It's not like, hey, like, let's say you working on your car. I walk up, I realize this nigga don't know how to change a transmission, right? What am I gonna do? Hey, bro, that screw right there, you need to take that off first. But I'm gonna come in and say, bro, throw away the goddamn car. You shouldn't even be driving.
Right.
That means I'm not trying to help you, I'm trying to hurt you.
Right. Yeah.
So these dudes are agents.
Sell
and
that
a lot
car.
of them, right. A lot of them, I'm gonna tell you what it is. A lot of them are not FBA too, or they're conflicted because they have a partner or a sibling or a child that's whatever by ethnic. Bro, don't let that if that causes you to be disloyal to your root lineage, you got a problem. Like I can have a child with a Japanese woman and still be on some Elijah Muhammad pro black shit, nigga.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's wild to me.
You ain't gotta decrease your so a lot of them see that as a threat to their child or to certain. I got family members and shit that's connected to the Caribbean, bro. But that don't. What does that mean? That I gotta denounce my own lineage and pride,
right?
Because of that. So a lot of them, they're mixed in a world of confusion, and they've just been too embedded in the lie, and they're getting old. Because here's the one, and I know you got to go, but I'm gonna say this real quick. Here's the thing about science. This is the funny thing about science, because they always claim we got to be scientifically literate. They're the opposite of scientific inquiry. They're like old motherfuckers stuck in a way. They can't. That's why, like, what if they produce? That's why they ain't produce nothing. They produce no technology. You ain't came up with no cures for no disease. Huh?
She got DVDs for a cartoon. What's the Mail Trick?
Oh man, ain't got a white girl in that. So my thing is, it's like y'all are not even scientists. Like people, y'all arguing. If you're saying that unless you have a degree, you can't discuss science, then why are you talking to us?
Right.
Who are you? Don't get the scientists that you're talking about instead of just coming here repeating some shit. And right now, I'm telling you, they're falling apart because all type of scientific information that they've been hiding is coming out. Like, and I don't know. I know you with it, bro, but y'all need to look up what's going on with the court cases with that jab shot right now. Look it up and see what's going on. People, they're going into, people are doing autopsies and they're finding all these white blood clots in them. These people are being sued in front of Congress over that jab in terms of misinformation, where it came from, what it does, and the purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. Yo, bro, they got some crazy shit in there, but I don't want to get in there because I know a lot of y'all took that jab. A lot of y'all will be all right, but I'm just saying the stuff that they promote is dangerous because they're basically saying, trust the goddamn white man. No matter, because when they say science is science, it's not white and black, use a goddamn lie. Science is science, but what they're putting out there is connected to geopolitics. So yes, the DNA companies were formed by the small hats. Remember that? Why was that? Why did that happen? Because they wanted to prove that they were genetically linked to that land. All them DNA companies are ran by basically the small hats. So DNA is real, but their categories and the purpose they use it for is not real. You see what I'm saying? And so, so don't go out here sounding crazy saying DNA don't exist. Study it and understand it. I lay this whole thing out You know what I'm saying? In the Holy FBA Codex, what a lot of y'all need to go get, because that joint is bad right now. I've been in, man, it's up to like 500 pages. Every argument, all the history, everything you need, I put in that book. But yeah, these dudes, bro, and you know, I don't even want to be negative toward them in a sense like that, you know, in terms of, it's just, man, bro, these people, I believe in years to come, man, we're going to find out. Remember how they show how the Black Panthers were infiltrated? And you got, what's that dude's name who joined the Panthers? He was working for the CIA and all that. And people never, you're going to find out so much about these people, bro, because it's like, and listen, man, you know, I was a Pan-African for years, and I'm still, to some degree, I don't hate people in the Caribbean and African and none of that. Consider a lot of them are writers and all of that. But yo, why are you trying to take away from the biggest renaissance in 100 years, where our people are reclaiming their identity and their position in this country? We are not Africans, bro. That is a fact. That is not disputable. We're not Africans. We're North Americans. Like, that's not disputable. This is stupid. And okay, do we have, as some of us have African descent? Yeah. But we're not African. That's just a fact.
Right. That's just common sense right there.
Yeah.
It should
like,
be.
Come on, bro. What are y'all doing? So why are you against the advancement? I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of psychology going on. First of all, the psychology of the hate for America, the government, and they can't distinguish the government from the goddamn land. They're so mad that the government, that they want to deny the land that their ancestors are buried in.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, like, the root of, like, they call us a hate group. We're not a hate group. Pan-African is a hate group for that same reasons. Like, they hate America. They unpatriotic. They hate the government, and by extension, they hate the land, anything associated with it. And this is why, like they really have a problem with anybody saying they're American. So So what they're mad at, it predated FBA. The fact there's an A there, is an A there to represent America. That was on their that was their main issue. That American thing, like, oh, y'all proud to be Americans, because they think of American white man and that whole spill.
Right. Like, bro, they not Americans. That's the thing about it, especially with the immigrants. Bro, when y'all talk about America, the land of the free, home of the brave, the land of opportunity, that's Black America. That ain't, white people didn't want that. We shaped and molded that spirit. We're the ones that made it so that you know, and we got to be real, coming from the church values and the values that we had because of what we went through, and us being righteous people, we put the spirit of inclusion in America, not white people.
Right.
White people didn't even want you here. When the immigrants started coming here, guess who housed them in their churches? Black people. So for these immigrants to turn around today and talk any shit is the ultimate betrayal, bro. That shit be having me so mad. It's like, bro, you motherfuckers literally stabbed us in the back, bro. Literally. You know why? Because of what they perceive as power. They don't know the difference between military power and soft power. They need to take a political science class. Because what they're saying is, we don't have to respect you niggas because you have no power.
Right.
And they really believe that. So they're saying, why should we respect you? Well, if we had no power, how did you get over here in the first place? We opened that door. We have serious soft power and spiritual power, and at the end of the day, we haven't tapped into it, but we got military power because 30% of the military is us. So the fourth largest tech company on earth is owned by a Black man named Robert Williams. Vista Holdings. You got Apple, Amazon, and what's the other one? Google, and then Vista. That's a Black man. Vista Holdings. He created, remember Vista, the Windows program?
Yep. Yeah, I know that shit sound familiar. Mm-hmm.
The fourth largest tech company in America. 2 million millionaires. We have more millionaires in America than all of Africa and probably the Caribbean combined.
Yes, sir.
Now, one of the reasons that we haven't taken over a lot of shit is because of our inclusion mindset. And that's what they're scared of. When we centralize our resources and start looking out for each other like other people do, it won't even be close. We can lobby to get y'all up out of here. Why do you, if we have no power, why is it all of a sudden during this delineation that immigration has went up substantially?
Right.
Because they know black people ain't backing you. Listen, let me tell you how stupid black people can stop that immigration shit tomorrow. If the niggas got involved, man, if the niggas hit the streets, shit would change. But y'all done messed that up. We're not protecting disloyal hoes no more. And you would think that would be a wake-up call. Not that you have to kiss our ass, but you think that you would swallow your pride and show a little respect. Because y'all are trying to sing, we shall overcome in the streets. You don't got the spiritual power we have. No, that shit don't.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
When you hear
that was
black
embarrassing.
people, yeah, that shit didn't move me at all. When you hear black people sing, nigga, that shit comes from somewhere else. That shit reverberates. So yeah, we are God's chosen people. But yeah, man, peace to peace, man. I ain't gonna keep you too long, brother. I'll check you in around 3 o'clock, man. Peace to the people, though, bro.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Thanks for that, man. Yeah. I was trying to do my best. I was muting the headset while I in this gym. I think I hear this large echo. All right, so let me get out of here. Hopefully 227 calls in. 330. Hey, 227, do me a favor so I can communicate with you. Once this live ends, right, go into the comment section and say something so I can comment so I can make sure